Hello and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today I have a pick card reading set up for us. This is for the week of November 22nd to the 29th. In the US, that includes Thanksgiving. And I have 3 piles for us. The first one, I have Sodalite. The second pile I have represented by Pyrite. And the third one I have represented by Goldstone. So take a minute, meditate, decide which pile or which stone resonates with you. It is possible, if you are thinking of more than one pile, that there are messages in more than one pile for you. And as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. And I will have timestamps down below and I will meet you at your pile. Hello, pile ones. If you picked Sodalite, you are in the right spot. I love Sodalite. It always reminds me of like blue jeans. I just think that it's just so comforting in that way. So as always, I have tarot cards for us, and then I've got some oracle cards that I will pull out at the end. So I'm going to put those aside here, and let's take a look at the week. So I've got 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Next, 6 of Cups, which I think is very appropriate if you're celebrating Thanksgiving. 6 of Swords. First off, right off the bat, we have 3 6s here. So I'll talk about that in a second. We have 9 of Cups in reverse. And the final card is the Knight of Wands. So like I said, the first thing I wanted to talk about is just the fact that you have 3 6s. I think 6 is going to be an important number for you for this week. And the importance of 6 is it's not a completion number. 10 is completion, but if you're looking at numbers like as a journey, as we are like with tarot cards, 6 is, you know, you've fought some battles, you're on your way, you're on your journey. And it's time to just take a break and relax and count your blessings, really enjoy the good things in your life. 6 of Cups is talks about revisiting your past and childhood memories, just enjoying innocence, really paying attention to the children in your life who are around you and just really enjoying those. 6 of Swords is almost like you have been battle tested a little bit and you are leaving behind some baggage and you're going to a better place. You're on this journey that way. And 6 of Pentacles, this is reversed. So I'll turn this around here. So 6 of Pentacles is about giving and receiving, sharing your wealth and generosity. Now reversed, it doesn't necessarily mean that doesn't happen, although with, you know, the current climate of the world, I think that some of the things that we typically do a lot in the United States, where food drives and toy drives and volunteering at soup kitchens, things like that, we're not getting to do that as much because of, you know, the pandemic or health concerns. So that's coming up for me. There's also an element of, you know, you're giving so much here that you may be giving too much to family or too much to people who are not appreciative of that. And it talks about taking a moment for some self-care and to treat yourself. Pentacles is also as you can see here, we've got some gold coins. It is also the suit of monetary things we can touch, feel, hold. So It can also talk about to watch your debt. You may be giving too much, and to kind of rethink some of the things that you're doing with your wealth. And time also. Time, giving of your time, giving of yourself, and watching your debt. One thing that this reminds me of is I was watching Tony Robbins, self-help guru, the other day, and he was talking about wealth. And one thing that he said is that it doesn't matter where you are, how much you make, and what area of life that you're in, that the first step to lasting wealth, and you should definitely look up Tony Robbins if this is resonating with you, is to take a percentage of what you make, and because you've worked hard for that, and decide that you are never going to spend that. You are never going to give that to anybody else. You are going to hold on to that and save that and invest it in some way. He has much better ideas of investment than I do. So if that resonates, please look that up. The other thing with that, though, when I'm talking about self-care, and maybe you're spending too much time worrying about other people and not taking care of yourself, you have to fill your cup first, is what I love about what Tony Robbins said, like that percentage of money. Think about a percentage of time that you are never going to give to anyone else, that is going to be your time. What is that percentage of time? And the other thing that kind of, I don't know, it blows my mind, maybe I'm a simple thinker here, is when you think about an hour of your day, a lot of times an hour seems like a long time. That's less than 5% of your day. Do you realize that probably you should be saving at least 20 or 10 to 20% of your paycheck. You probably should be saving at least 10 to 20% of your time for you. Now, I understand, I'm a mom, I am married, that is very, very difficult, but if you approach your time to where that's the first thing you script into your time when you are budgeting your time, and also when you're budgeting your money too, it makes it a lot easier to do. If that is the first thing, is this is going to be my time. Now, it doesn't have to be first thing in the morning if you understand that your kids go to bed at 8 and you're going to take those 2 hours after they go to bed and focus on yourself. I always have difficulty getting my kids to bed, so that doesn't work out very well. I end up going to bed at midnight if I'm dead set that I'm going to have 2 hours to myself. So it's a lot easier the earlier you can do that, so then if things come up, then you can still kind of plan your time. So all right, so let's talk about the Nine of Cups in reverse. So this is upright. The Nine of Cups is the wish card. It's getting everything that you ever wanted and feeling fulfilled and being really, really happy. In reverse, it doesn't necessarily mean the opposite of that. It could talk about how you got everything you wanted, but it wasn't what you thought it would be. So if your goals were that you were going to have this beautiful house, beautiful car, beautiful family, all of these things, but you're still feeling unfulfilled, you need to go inside and take a look at what your goals are. Maybe you've been following other people's expectations and goals for you. You've been trying to keep up with the Joneses. Those types of things, when you're goal setting and your goals are to have a nicer car than your neighbor, that's not necessarily fulfilling. So that's what this card talks about. And both the Nine of Cups in reverse and the Six of Pentacles in reverse talk about you personally, what you want, self-care, take care of you, because that is really the only person that you can control or take care of. And then once you do that, then you can be available to help and take care of others. But if you don't focus on yourself first, there's going to be some problems. Then we have the Knight of Wands, and I really like the Knight of Wands here because this is somebody putting into action their passions. And I feel like once you take this break and you realize what you're looking for and your goals and your self-care, that you have the capability to put things into action. And this is passions into action. And this is like jumping on your horse and running out full speed and going and, you know, taking on the world. Okay, let's look at our Oracle cards. We've got Follow Your Dreams and Listening to Wisdom. And I really love these two in relation to what already you have out here. So listening to wisdom is really about your inner wisdom and those whispers that you aren't hearing because other things are so loud. Whether that is other people's opinions or social media or just the media in general, television, whatever you're listening to right now, that it is not resonating with your soul, and you need to quiet those things down and listen, like I said, to your inner wisdom, to your longings. Connect back to yourself, not what you think other people, you know, is going to impress them. What's going to impress your higher self? What's going to impress your soul? You need to take a moment, meditate. And if you don't meditate, that's fine. I love to just take walks and connect with nature. And then all of a sudden, I just have like all these amazing epiphanies and amazing thoughts. And then the next one is Follow Your Dreams. So you don't know what your dreams are unless you take a second and listen to them, right? But once you have an idea of what your dreams are, you're going to be able to just put this Knight of Wands energy into action and go and follow them. And I love how in this card, he's also, he has a broom, which is kind of like the wands here, which goes back a little bit to this wands, this fire energy, and he's just looking out at the night sky, thinking, you know, these are contemplating what is important to you and following your dreams. And the only person who could answer that is you. You're not going to find that on Instagram. You're not going to find that in the news, what other people say that you should pay attention to or what you should want. That is not going to fulfill you. That is not going to flip this Nine of Cups upside down. I think that you have been following what other people say that you want, and you need to just check in with yourself this week. Like I said, this is your spirit guides are saying, hey, you know what? You've done really well here. Just take a break. Take a moment and relax and find out what you want. And then you're going to have renewed energy to go out and pursue those things. And the final card that I have for this group is Growth. And I really love this card. It's pretty interesting to me because when it talks about movement, growth is movement, but yet there's all of these roots, like it's being grounded and having roots before you really take off and have that movement. And I think that's what it's talking about here with the wisdom and the meditation. Your roots are your priorities, your ideas, your values, what things that matter to you. Those are your roots. Because if you don't have those things, if you haven't defined those things for yourself, then you're not going to grow to be like this beautiful, I mean, she's growing into like this huge tree, and then radiating her beauty out to the world. It also talks about a degree of flexibility. I think you have that in you. I'm not concerned about you being flexible. I'm almost concerned about you being too flexible because you haven't, or maybe you have defined your goals, but maybe it's time to check in with yourself again. I'm getting that other thought of, was it C.S. Lewis who said something to the effect like, you can't go back to the person you can't go back to yesterday, you aren't that person anymore, or something like that. We are continually moving forward and evolving, and as we learn and discover new things, we're learning and discovering new things about ourselves. We're having new wants and desires. The things that we have come out and accomplished are no longer serving us. And Six of Swords is moving away from those things that no longer serving us and letting go of that baggage. And 2020 is really a year for us to take and look at that contrast of the things that we've been doing in the past that are no longer serving us and moving forward in a positive direction. So group 1, that is all I have for you. Thank you very much. I think this is going to be a fantastic week. Please let me know how you are going to relax and count your blessings, and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hello group 2, if you picked the Pyrite, you are in the right spot. Let's take a look at the cards for next week. I have tarot cards, and then I also have some oracle cards that we will pull out in a moment. So let's take a look at the tarot. We have 2 of Cups, very nice. So if you are interested in a relationship or a partnership, or this is all about equitable relationships, giving back and forth, equal ground. We also have the Moon. So something, engaging your intuition, but something isn't quite crystal clear. We have the Knight of Pentacles. This is working hard, reaping what you sow, just slow and steady wins the race. And we have the 4 of Wands. This is a beautiful celebration, people coming together. And then finally, at the end here, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So I think that the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Moon are very much related to each other. The Moon talks about some sort of illusions and fears, and maybe you think that your path isn't quite clear. You know, the difference between the Sun and the Moon is really not that different if you think about it. If you're, the road or the path that you most often take to wherever you go, in the sunlight you can see everything, but in the moonlight it really is the same, you just can't see it. So you have to rely on internally, your internal guidance to figure that out. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this is a little bit of resistance to change. You could also be breaking some cycles. And probably if you're doing that, you don't really know where that's going to take you, right? So you might be resistant to change because you don't yet see the path as quite as clearly as you would if it was fully illuminated. So this is just digging deep into yourself and trusting yourself even when you don't exactly know where you're going. You don't exactly know the direction. Like this wheel is turning, but you're not exactly sure what direction or where that is going. Coming back to the 2 of Cups and the Moon, I like these 2 together. One thing that I love about relationships, this talks about equal footing, equal relationship, but with the Moon and these 2 dogs, one of the dogs is wild, it's a wolf, the other dog is supposed to be just a tame dog, and it just reminds me of, there's a Cherokee proverb about the 2 wolves inside of you, the good wolf, the bad wolf, the one that represents joy and happiness and pleasure, and the bad wolf represents fear and jealousy And the point of that story is the wolf that wins is the wolf that you feed. And it also reminds me, especially when we're talking about relationships, that the grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. And cups is about water as well. So your relationships, the ones that you pay attention to, the ones that you tend to, though the grass is green where you water it. And there are so many people who are looking at ending relationships because they're not happy with it, or they see another potential partner out there and they think that, oh wow, things are so great with them. But you don't really know that because you're not having the challenges with that other potential partner that you are with this one. You know, I always think about, you know, if you have joint checking with somebody, that's when you really trust them. You really know who they are, and things are super, super easy when you don't have that joint checking with somebody. So tend to your relationships, water the ones that are important to you, put the time in, and it will be reciprocated. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving, but look at him. He's got the money in his hand. Pentacles is about money or abundance, health as well. This is slow and steady wins the race. If you have started a new health routine and maybe you haven't lost the weight that you thought you should, take a moment to think about how long it took you to put that weight on. Okay, so especially for me, or for the moms out there, I mean, 9 months to make a baby. Give yourself, well, 10 months, 40 weeks is what they count. So slow and steady progress. Keep moving forward. Don't be discouraged. Just keep plugging away at that. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is really super appropriate for this week, especially in the United States. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, this is coming together, a homecoming, getting together and celebrating and just really enjoying the people around you. Four of Wands can also be very related to the Two of Cups. In a relationship, if you are in a relationship and it's going really well, this could be talking about going to the next step in that relationship, whether it's getting engaged, getting married, things like that. But I think for most of us this week, it's just going to be talking about getting together with the people we love and really appreciating them. So then we come to the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And I've already talked about this a little bit. Breaking cycles and not knowing where you're going, or maybe you're not even the one who broke the cycle. It could be something that is happening to you. This is taking responsibility though for that action. Like if you were let go from your job, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm just giving this as an example, but there may be something in there as like maybe a warning sign. A lot of times those things are blessings in disguise, and taking responsibility for any actions that you may have put into play. And sometimes that's really difficult, right? That's why this is in reverse. So sometimes we can look at a situation and really see, okay, yes, I did that. And that's kind of, it built and built and built. And that's why this cycle is no longer around. But the great thing about this card is that, okay, it may talk about being down, but you aren't out. If you take a look at yourself and do some work, dig deep, the moon is about digging deep into your subconscious as well, you can flip this around and really create an opportunity and take control of your cycle. Like a cycle is broken, well, that's just an opportunity for you to pick up that cycle and take control of it. Okay? And I think that this, if you keep up with this slow and steady, just moving forward, progressing, that it will really help that wheel of fortune turn in your favor. Because a wheel can turn in any direction, and you want to take control and turn it in your direction. So we have meditation for creativity and joy and delight. Meditation for creativity. Creativity looks different for everybody. I don't think that we're all, painters or crafters, but we can be, if you're into writing or solving problems. Like creativity can even just be taking a look at some sort of problem that you see in your home, in yourself, in the world, and figuring out a way to approach that. And it's talking about how creativity looks to you. Like, I don't know, he's painting here, but this fire energy actually reminds me of cooking. Like cooking can be a very creative endeavor as well. And just taking a moment to enjoy that and connect with your creativity and joy and delight. And because when you connect with yourself and your creativity, you're going to have joy and delight. And this is just happiness and pleasure and being in the moment. And also, if you're having a bad day, it is bringing in some happy memories to get you through it. Like just one happy memory can take you through a really dark position. And if you are interested in the law of attraction, it is, there could be these things that are going on that are like, oh, I'm not really happy with how this is going on. But if you go back to like maybe, okay, what I was saying about this joy and delight is letting what is working in your life being your point of attraction, and that's what you calibrate through to. So if you have like a really great relationship, really great family, you're really proud of some steps that you're taking with your body, look at the positive things and make that your point of attraction, because that's how it's going to help you flip this wheel of fortune and turn it into your favor. That don't get anxious and upset or worried about things not being completely clear. Focus on the positive things, and that's part of the law of attraction if you're interested in looking at more of that. And final card that I have for you is the Path. This is Waxing Crescent. These are moon cards. These are lunar cards. And I find that interesting that you got the moon with the lunar cards. Sometimes the moon talks about paying attention to the lunar cycles. And when I was just talking about the law of attraction, because right now, if you're interested in lunar cycles, with the waxing moon, which is what we're in right now, where we're going from the new moon to the full moon, it's a really great time to manifest things. And there are people who do some amazing videos on that. So if you're interested in like how that works, manifesting with the lunar cycle, I suggest that you look that up, because law of attraction, making your vibration, your point of attraction, joy, to turn this wheel in your favor. This path, though, also talks about illuminating a path for you. And I really like how both of these cards are very similar, the moon and this path. Like right here is this darkness that you're not really sure, it's only lit by the moon and the stars in the sky, and you're not really sure where things are going, but you're going to get a path that's illuminated for you into a place that you're going to be happier with. And if the cycle that's ending, like a lot of times change is hard for us, but a lot of times it's necessary to move us into another space. So that's all I have for you, group 2. I hope you have a fantastic week. Definitely take joy in the relationships in your life and water the grass. And I hope you let me know how your celebration goes. Thank you. Hello, group 3. If you picked the Goldstone, you are in the right place. Let's take a look at the tarot cards that I have pulled. I also have some oracle cards that we will come back to in a moment. I'll set those aside right now. So first off, we have the Fool, but in reverse. Now, Fool card is actually one of my very, very favorite cards. In reverse, though, we'll see what the other cards have to say. Knight of Swords. So Fool is about jumping forward, like the upright is about jumping forward off into the unknown. In reverse, it could be that you're stagnant, but with the Knight of Swords, I mean, this is a pretty swift energy, and obviously look at him. He is charging forward. I don't think that you are stagnant. I think maybe you're taking some risks that you shouldn't. We'll get into that after we get some more cards out here. King of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, kings are, you know, usually very, very wise. So when we have one in reverse, maybe you're not acting as wisely as you should be, and that could revolve around money or health. Let's see, but we do have the King of Swords, who is about mental clarity. So I think you have it in you to look at your situation and make wise decisions. Maybe you're just not seeing it or doing it at the moment for whatever various reasons. And finally, we have the Hermit. And the Hermit, it talks about some introspection and going inside. So, okay. So yeah, like I was saying with the Fool, let's talk about risk-taking and carelessness. Are you being reckless in some way, doing something that you should know better? Like if you're in your 40s and you're saying YOLO, that could be a problem. YOLO is you only live once. Or, you know, having some sort of midlife crisis and thinking that you need to be living in a Mountain Dew commercial. You're smarter than this. You have 2 kings. You're smarter than this. So this is just talking about hedging your bets. And I say hedging your bets, and that's like a term, like a stock market term when you're investing, because you have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So I'm concerned a little bit about health and wealth for you, that you need to be a little bit smarter in your actions, be a little bit more calculated. Where is your safety net? Wear a helmet. Even this knight here who's charging forward, he has a helmet on, he has protective covering on. So I just want you to be careful with those things, and you know, act your age. And be a little bit more mature with things. And that doesn't mean that you can't have fun. It's just that you're being a little bit more mature. So the Knight of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. And this is about, the Knight of Swords is ambition and action oriented, and takes very swift action and is fast thinking, and maybe doesn't think things all the way through. But the King of Swords definitely thinks things through, and it has some mental clarity. So just resist this urge. It's no problem to take action. You should take some action, but resist the urge to take action without thinking about it. If you feel like just jumping in, take a look at the risks that you're taking, and you know, contemplate it. Plan it out. Planning is key, and you're going to get some mental clarity on this because you have the ability to do that. You've got these 3 mature energies here, which is the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the Hermit. So let's talk about the King of Pentacles in reverse. I think you're being stubborn about something for whatever reason. You just need to think about that, if that is serving you. And the Hermit can help you figure that out, because the Hermit is introspection and actually just before you take an action, is that serving you, and not to be so stubborn about things and be open to new ideas. The King of Swords is open to new ideas, so I don't think that that is beyond you to do. It's just the cards are cautioning you to take some introspection here and do that. Oh, another thing with the King of Pentacles in reverse. So we're talking about risk taking. Are you taking risks with money? But also, though, the King of Pentacles in reverse could be valuing money over relationships. And that can work out to be a problem with you. And the Hermit is telling you to think about those kinds of things. Where is your heart leading you? Use your heart as a compass. But like I said, I really think that you have the ability to plan here with these mature energies and to really think about what is serving you and then pursue it in that way, and do it in a way that is safe, like hedge your bets, have a safety net. Plan first. If it doesn't work out, what is your plan B, C, D, that kind of thing. So let's take a look at the Oracle cards. And we have affirmation for health and for healing the heart. And then we have learn from life. And the Hermit is definitely connected with this learn from life. I think these kings are as well. Like I said, you have the ability to do that. You've got this mature energy about you. It's just that you're kind of embracing that. I mean, the Fool is a noob. They're completely new to something, but in reverse, you should know better. Healing affirmation for healing the heart is interesting for me here. This, because I don't see necessarily any heartbreak, but this talks about that, and maybe that's why you're acting rashly. You're rushing into something that maybe you shouldn't. Is it well, and the Hermit talks about introspection, so you may need to take a step back and heal yourself. Okay, so take a step back and heal yourself. This can also talk about sometimes we need help to do that, and whether that's enlisting the help of a friend or a doctor, some more serious help. The other thing that I'm getting though here with healing the heart, like it may not be a heartbreak so much as it could be a health issue. So I'm not a doctor and don't fit something in this message may not be for you, but if you have been getting or you've been concerned about your cardiovascular health or your heart health, because this could be a sign that you should see a doctor about that and make some healthier changes for yourself in the way you eat, in your cardiovascular health, heart health, something to do with that. Like again, this, if you could be like the healthiest person in the world, and I don't know you personally. I am not a doctor. Do not fit this in here if it's like the out of left field for you. That's not your message. But if you have been concerned about your heart health, this could be a sign that you do need to see somebody about that. So I just want to put that out there because I am, concerned with you. I want you to learn from life and live a very healthy life. One thing I want to say about learn from life, like learning from our own past mistakes, but the great thing about learning from life is that we can learn through others' mistakes. And I almost feel like when this Fool here, that you're taking a risk, maybe do some research and look into it and see what has happened to other people who have followed the path that you're looking at. Look at the plan B, C, D of that. And like I said, you have the capacity to plan for those things. And focus. is the card. This is Waxing Gibbous Focus. So this is don't listen to gossip of negative people, and that could be with the heart healing too, is if people are talking about you behind your back. One thing is, if they're doing that, they're behind you, they're beneath you. Their opinion of you says more about them than it does of you. And I love that this card is in a bubble. So if that is what is hurting you, this gossip, put yourself in a bubble and put it in perspective to you that, again, their opinion of you says nothing about you, really. It says something about them. It says something about how they see the world and them projecting something onto you, which may or may not be there. So this focus is about, and it's very connected to the Hermit, like introspection, being focused on you. What life lessons can you learn and put into action? This also talks about, is there something that you have not been getting done, that it's time to really carve out time to do that? Again, I keep coming back to this, planning it out and focus on that. That multitasking may not be working for you right now, that you need to set some priorities and some things, do a hierarchy of things that you need to accomplish, and focus on the task at hand one by one. So, I think that's all I have for you, Group 3. Like I said, you have the capacity in you. You can learn from life. You are a very mature person. Don't take ridiculous risks that are not worth it. Like, obviously, some risk in life is worth it, but not at the expense of your health, and focus on what you want to accomplish and your task at hand. So I hope you have a great week, and I hope to see you in the next video.